Internet, good morning. My name is Pokemon Trainer Steve, aka Magnitude. Welcome back to another Sun and Moon competitive moveset guide. This one for Ultra Beast 5, aka Gluttony, a name we've noted as Guzzlord. I am so glad because we are not going to get any of those Guzzlord jokes finally. We'll look at some, but a lot of people are going to know this thing as Gluttony. Of course, this was officially released in a trailer a few days ago, so we know about it, but we do not know the rest of the stuff about it, so there will be spoilers ahead. If you do not want to be spoiled by this, please click on this video. You have been officially warned. So UB-05, going to refer to it as Gluttony for the rest of the video, has a very interesting base stat distribution. It's got 223 HP, which is massive. As you can see, it maxes out at 650. 101 attack, 53 defense, 97 special attack, 53 special defense, and 43 speed. Though I'm not going to get on this thing for being slow. It's named fucking Gluttony, for Christ's sake. Of course it's going to be slow. Of course, this thing also looks like it belongs as a Lilo and Stitch, like Lilo or a Stitch clone. Remember the Lilo and Stitch movie? That thing was awesome. There's like 90 million of them. It was great. And this thing definitely belongs there, but I am of the opinion where anything new Pokemon to me is awesome. I just go back to me as a kid. If I heard about this as a 7-year-old, my mind would be fucking blown. I'd be losing my shit right now. I'd be trying right now to get to outer space to find these Ultra Beasts. So that's where that lies with that. However, it's huge. It's got like tentacle arm things. I don't know why I'm doing that, but it has those. But it's a dark dragon, so it resists knockoff, which is nice. But it is 4 times weak to fairy, which is disappointing, as Fairy is a common offensive type, and just makes Sylveon even better. Who needs to make Sylveon better? Sylveon does like 300% with Hyper Voice and Spec. It's ridiculous. Before we get into what I think is the best set for, let's just get some honorable mentions or what you can tech. Substitute, using its massive HP stat, you can really stop anything with Seismic Toss. It's huge HP stat, allows it to build very high HP subs, so if you're worried about Seismic Toss, Blissey, or Chansey, or anything like that, this thing will be able to make those subs nice and cozy-like. But let's get into what I think is the best set for this. First ability, Beast Boost, which all the Ultra Beasts have. It boosts Pokemon's attack stat when it scores a KO. A caveat of that being, it boosts the Pokemon's greatest stat when it scores a KO. Gluttony's best stat, of course, is attack. Well, it's HP, but you can't boost that, so it's going to go with attack. So we build a set based around its attack stat, but of course it learns Fire Blast, and you want to be able to take out those pesky steel types. And it's got a 97 base special attack stat. That's not terrible at all. It's going to do significant damage. We've got max HP, max attack, and 4 special attack. We are here to sit and be fat and try and do as much damage as we can to anything on the way in. Of course, if we can get that beast boost, then all these calcs that I'm going to be showing you are going to be at +1 instead, because that's just the way it goes. But the set we have is Fire Blast, Dragon Claw, and Crunch. Those are for stab, and Earthquake is for mostly Heatran and other steals, or fat, especially defensive steals you might be seeing, like a Registeel or something like that. Just rock types as well that can hit. So, Earthquake, all these moves have their purpose, but let's actually get right into the calc so you can see what I'm talking about. First, we have Amoonguss. That is nice. Obviously, it can be put to sleep with a Spore, or, so this is where a Substitute would come in handy. If you would rather run Substitute over one of these moves, and you can avoid Spore. Of course, you got to catch on the way in because you're not outspeeding anything. But again, your name's Gluttony. That's what I expect out of you. You can 2-KO with Fire Blast. Well, 86% of the time, 2-KO with Fire Blast. And the other moves aren't, like Dragon Claw and Crunch, not terrible. So even if you don't have Fire Blast, it's going to be doing much less to you than you're doing it to it. And there's no Hidden Power Fairy, which is a huge thing, so nothing can just tech a Hidden Power Fairy to deal with this thing. So I'm liking this against Amoonguss, especially if you already have a Pokemon asleep, so Sleep Claws won't come into effect. You can threaten Amoonguss greatly, so if it's, Amoonguss probably going to fall to lower tiers, as it always does early in metagames, and I assume Gluttony is going to be in lower tier. This thing will be able to take out Amoonguss ASAP. Rocky, make a special appearance for me right now. I don't get celebrity endorsements. Let's look at Blissey. That is hilarious. Seismic Toss doing... That's funny. So this is where Substitute also would come in handy. If you want to get a sub up before Blissey comes in, you can be immune to Toxic, you can be immune to Thunder Waves, you can be immune to Seismic Toss. Not immune to Seismic Toss, but you know what I'm saying. And you can 3-hit KO every time with Dragon Claw or Crunch, so it's nice to have that versatility. If for some reason someone's got, Cursed Body, and you'll still have Dragon Claw able to 3-KO with Blissey. That's nice. So if you don't need Fire Blast, you can just take that off, throw a sub on there, and all of a sudden you are beating every Blissey ever. Now Cresselia, Crunch doing 44 to 53%. Now, because Cresselia gets Moonblast and often has Moonblast, you're 4 times weak to it, you're probably not going to want to take that. It's going to do 55 to 65% of damage with a Moonblast with max HP. Now, This is, of course, with a life orb, you have this Gluttony. So, of course, but that was on the sheet you saw before, so you know that. As you'll be able to KO it 1.6% of the time with leftovers, but I don't think one wants to take that risk, especially if you've already gotten a boost, right? If you've already got a boost and you're +1, then you're going to be taking that thing out, and you might get that defense drop, which is nice and juicy, but you can't hope for that. But this still does deal with Cresselia nice, and you might not even get the Cresselia with Moonblast. You might get Cresselias with Sub, Calm Mind, Moonlight, and Psyshock, which is a thing that exists for people who like to commit domestic terrorism. The reason why Fire Blast is here is for Ferrothorn. Now, if you get almost any damage roll, you can get, as long as you don't get, you know, Super Min and Super Min, and this is with a 252 HP, 252 specially defensive Ferrothorn. Fire Blast is there doing 75 to 88%, and it can't do a lot back to you. Gyro Ball is going to do fuck all to you because you're also slow as dirt, and Power Up's not going to do a lot to you because, you know, you have a massive HP stat, and Ferrothorn isn't really that effective offensively. So you get Fire Blast, and if you don't want to risk missing a Fire Blast, you can hit with a Crunch, and if you have 75 plus 83, that gives you just over 108, which means every variation of Ferrothorn will die to any 2 moves from Gluttony, which is nice because Ferrothorn is really, really, really fucking annoying. Earthquake is here mostly for Heatran. And there it is, 154 to 182%, and that is an offensive Heatran. That is an offensive Heatran, and it's not doing a lot of damage back to you. So Heatran, you just got worse, buddy. People draft you in draft format because they want a nice steel-type wall, and they realize, shit, it's 4 times weak to ground, it can't be that good at being a wall, and it has no actual recovery. I need to use it offensively. Then you realize, even offensively, all these bulky Pokemon are coming out and just making Heatran worse. I'm sorry, Heatran, you were so cool when you came out, and you were slowly going down the ranks. You got a great move pool, you got a lot of cool stat distributions, you got great abilities, but unfortunately, you just don't size up anymore, buddy. Gluttony is going to take you to the cleaners. You can switch it on a Flash Cannon and then take another one and even miss Earthquake if that's possible, and then hit him with another one. Hippowdon has been one of my staples for what is a wall, because Hippowdon is one of my favorite walls. Everything's got recovery, it's got hazing, it's got rocks, it's got an ability that can do damage to other Pokemon. So Gluttony is doing a respectable amount of damage. Earthquake from Hippowdon is still going to be doing 30 to 35%, but you're also going to be doing about 30% back to it with any of your given moves. So it's not a matchup that I like, but this goes without saying for everything as a caveat. If you have the Beast Boost, you can obviously be doing more damage to these mons. So I don't like having the 1v1 Hippowdon, but generally, you're going to be running into Hippowdons with Earthquake or Ice Fang. That's kind of it for attacking moves. So I don't like the matchup, but you still do a solid chunk. So if Hippowdon is switching in on you, it's going to have to take at least a quarter of its damage, and I'm not sure if it can afford to do that for the entire game. So not a bad matchup, respectable damage. Gluttony, not terrible. And finally, Tangrowth, another mon that I like to use in these comparisons because it's becoming more and more common as the meta advances. Fire Blast doing 57 to 68%. Now this is a mon that runs Assault Vest a lot of the time. This is with an Assault Vest, and it's pretty bulky already. So if you take that Assault Vest off, if it's more of an offensive one, it's probably going to die, but then it's probably going to do a lot more with Focus Blast, but there's no variation of Tangrowth that's not Choice Specs, Macro Attack that cannot OHKO you with Focus Blast. So you got Gluttony here doing 57 to 68 with the Fire Blast, and even Dragon Claw and Crunch aren't doing that much. They're doing at least a third, so you could easily force out a Tangrowth, and all it takes is one Focus Blast miss to turn the tide of entire battle, because you know how that works. I know how that works. Focus Blast, you never want to count on it, and if Tangrowth's only option against Gluttony is Focus Blast, Gluttony's got the advantage. But that was the video. Let me know what you guys think of my set and my moveset ideas and all that in the description below. And comment below Pokemon you want to see me make these videos on. I have a lot of fun making them, but I have even more fun reading your comments. So please read the comments. Make your own comment while you're at it too. And then we'll get discussion going. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Sorry guys, I didn't think anyone watched to the end of this video. But I'm glad you did. Boy, do I have some treats for you. 3 videos, all from me. On the left is a video from my wrestling channel. We're fucking entertaining. Go find out. In the middle is my non-Pokemon channel called Bag Studios. In there you'll find videos that are, well, non-Pokemon. I don't tell a lie. I'm like Abe Lincoln if he was handsome and he had pink shoelaces. And on the right, well, that's the most previous video that I have on this channel, and I know you don't want to fall behind. And a big thank you to all of my patrons who have been gracing the screen the entire time. You see, following me on Patreon and becoming a patron of mine has a lot of cool perks. One, you get your name at the end of these videos, while people are already shuffling out and clicked off, you're still here. 2, you get access to exclusive content like blooper reels, early access videos, certain playthroughs, and giveaways, along with stream perks and other perks, such as being at my podcast, being a mod on my stream, and being in the first choice in some of my series. Now click on one of those, get the fuck out of here.